Nathan Zegura here at M&T Bank Stadium, where your Cleveland Browns have moved to 6-3 this season, defeating the Baltimore Ravens 33-31 in an instant Browns classic. This is your Clutch Transportation post-game recap, and folks, this is a joyous post-game recap because the Browns came here. This team showed a lot of things today: resilience, toughness, determination, a will to win, and most importantly, when they needed it, execution. And that's how they were able to get down the field, coming back down 31-30. And of course, I'm going to tell you a story of how we got there. The Browns took over at their own 20 with 4 minutes and 55 seconds left. Deshaun Watson looking to make that statement-defining, game-winning drive. The reason the Browns brought Deshaun Watson here, the reason they made that trade was for games like this. And he led this football team with his legs, with his arm, with his will, as did this ground game and this patchwork offensive line into field goal range. And from 40 yards, Dustin Hopkins put it through. And for the first time all game, the Browns had a lead, and the best part was there were no seconds left on the clock. 33-31, the Browns win. So how did we get here? And I'm going to skip over because this game had a lot. We don't have time. We don't have time for that. It'd be 10 minutes. We don't have that time. But I'll tell you this. It started off not so great. Second play of the game, tip, interception, pick six, Kyle Hamilton. Deshaun Watson saw the blitz, tries to throw it out there right in his hands to himself, walks in for a touchdown. Browns down 7-0. Browns down then 14-0, less than 5 minutes into the game. And yet they fought back. They clawed their way back into it. They got to 17-9 at the halftime. And when the Ravens came out on their opening drive of the third quarter and scored to make it 24-9, did the Browns fold? Did they give up? No. They went down the field and they scored. Deshaun Watson, the first half, was 6 of 20. He completed 14 of 14 passes here in the second half, made plays with his arms and his legs, and they continually answered the bell. So the Browns at one point, they get the game now to 24-17. After that opening score, the Browns went for two. Deshaun Watson ran it in for the two-point conversion after the Kareem Hunt touchdown. So it's 24-17 in the third quarter. Browns defense comes out, they get a stop. Myles Garrett, he had a sack and a half on the day, playing phenomenal football. In fact, he became, congratulations to him, just the 7th player in NFL history to have 6 straight seasons of 10 or more sacks. He would leave this game with 11 sacks on the day, coming into it with 9.5. So the Browns would get sacks. They pushed them out of field goal range. And then they forced a punt. The punt comes to the Cleveland Browns, and James Prochet, he muffed it at the 11-yard line. So the Ravens would take over, up 7 at the Browns 11. They would get a touchdown, and it wasn't easy. The Browns had an interception, penalty on third down. The Browns had 5 penalties on third downs that extended Ravens' drives, and some of them very tough calls in my opinion. But they go down 31-17 with 11 minutes in the fourth quarter on the road against the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. Did the Browns fold? You know the answer. No, they did not. Deshaun Watson led them down the field again. He hit Elijah Moore for Elijah Moore's first career touchdown. So the Browns were within 7 at this point, 31-24. Browns defense on the field. Greg Newsome, after an Obo Okoronkwo pressure, tips it in the air into the arms of Greg Newsome. He races down the sideline. Touchdown Browns, 31-30. We're about to tie it. All we need is the extra point. And Dustin Hopkins missed that extra point to the left. You're like, this can't even be happening. What? Dustin Hopkins, Mr. Reliable. But guess what? He gets a shot at redemption. The Browns defense would get the ball back for their offense, and as I told you at the top, down the field, into field goal range. And you talk about physicality, David Njoku had a couple of runs. Angry runs, Kyle Brandt, pay attention, look him up, running down the field. Then we got a rugby scrum, 80 guys pushing everybody down the field, down into the Ravens territory. The Browns imposed their will, and it came down to Dustin Hopkins. I said redemption, boom! Right down the upright. Got him on his left hash where he was comfortable, right down the middle, and the Browns come in here and shock the Baltimore Ravens and now are absolutely in the AFC title picture, the AFC North title picture to win this division. It's 6-3. The Steelers also won today. They're at 6-3. The Bengals lost. They're at 5-4. The Ravens now at 7-3. And they play the Bengals next week. The Browns play the Steelers at home, and it's going to be rocking. We need you there. We need you loud. What an incredible game. And again, Deshaun Watson, Myles Garrett, all of the big-time players showing up. Greg Newsome, his first career interception, couldn't have come at a better time. And the Browns come here and get it done with the NFL's best field goal kicker, Dustin Hopkins, putting it through the uprights for the win. And you got to go with that. That's the clutch play of the game, right? It comes down to you kicking a football through the uprights. You make it, we win. You miss it, we lose. Boom, right down the pipe. What a great win. This franchise should be very pleased. I think this was season-defining for the Cleveland Browns. We'll have a full breakdown for you tomorrow on Cleveland Browns Daily. Myself, Bo Bishop, the Hop. Pure joy, folks. Victory Monday. Enjoy it. The Browns are 6-3 after beating the Ravens 33-31 on their home field.